Traditional and digital age learning. Worldwide, over 4.2 billion people and counting are connected to the Internet. Thanks to the Internet and advancing technology, traditional learning has seen the continued expansion of digital learning within the classroom. The affordability and accessibility of digital tools has shifted the way learning is designed, deployed, assessed, and reported in ways that affect both traditional and digital age learners. Traditional learning is often associated with education that occurs within brick-and-mortar institutions. The delivery of learning is usually teacher-centered, where students are the receivers of information through lectures, textbooks, paper exams, and other non-digital means. Traditional learning is something that most digital immigrants who weren't born into or brought up with digital technology are typically accustomed to. Digital age learning encompasses learning that is supported by technology. That includes mobile learning, social networking, personal learning networks, augmented and virtual reality, gamification, and data analytics. Digital age learning is an environment that digital natives who are born into or brought up with digital technology are likely to be comfortable with. For traditional digital immigrant learners, the incorporation of technology within education is creating learning environments that are no longer strictly traditional or strictly digital, but often a hybrid of both. For instance, in a K-12 classroom setting, students might be asked to watch a video at home and complete an activity in class the following day. In a corporate training, employees might be asked to attend an in-class training, but also be expected to log on to Skype for a follow-up training. For digital natives, though technology continues to be integrated into learning, there are still components of traditional learning, such as participating in synchronous in-person training, that are a part of many learning environments. A physics student who is also a digital native might have a personal learning network that includes a Pinterest board on physics-related websites. The personal learning network might include a Facebook group of fellow physics students, but it may also include a traditional study group or a personal mentor as well. A course that is conducted in virtual reality may also contain a traditional textbook as part of the curriculum to provide further information and material regarding the subject matter. Trends and data point to the persistent integration of digital technology in the form of mobile learning, social networking, online training, video streaming, learning management systems, and data analytics into learning. However, there will likely still be a need for traditional learning in both formal and informal settings. For example, learning the steps of the rumba on YouTube is useful, but actually performing the rumba live with others synthesizes learning in the way that would be difficult to replicate through digital media alone. Whether you're a millennial or baby boomer, technology is woven into our daily activities. Technology and digital media have influenced society in a myriad of ways. For most individuals, it has shaped how we communicate, how we shop, how we are entertained, and also how we learn. Social media was something that was immediately embraced by most youth, but although seniors may not be fervent participants on Snapchat, many have Facebook accounts or watch YouTube videos, are active on Twitter, or have LinkedIn profiles. In adult learning, particularly in corporate training, digital tools such as email, conferencing software, mobile learning, social networking are used as a condition for performing their jobs. Most digital immigrants currently in the workplace are required to interface with technology, mainly due to its cost effectiveness. Digital natives aren't necessarily in a digital bubble. While in the workplace, they're sometimes expected to attend meetings in person as a way to network and socialize with their colleagues. The existence of two mindsets between traditional and digital age learning might have been more pronounced years ago, but the separation of the two groups may not be as distinct as it once was. Today, whether or not learners lean toward traditional or digital learning is not only influenced by age, but by culture, gender, socioeconomics, as well as individual preferences. For example, I'm a Gen Xer, and I've never created a Facebook account. It's not my social media of choice. Yet my 75-year-old immigrant father actively posts on 2 Facebook accounts. At my workplace, the digital divide in using technology and learning is partially generational, but also cultural and economical. For instance, our food service and housekeeping staff, a majority of whom don't have the level of access to laptops, tablets, or smartphones, experience the largest struggle with completing e-learning. As consumers of technology, the majority of current and future generations will likely choose digital media that suits and supports their lifestyle as well as their learning preferences. There may be a generational gap that influences whether or not a learner prefers traditional or digital learning, but instead of 2 distinct groups, there perhaps is a spectrum of learning preferences influenced by age, gender, culture, and economics. The most significant gap between the traditional and digital learner may lie in access to technology, which is tied to socioeconomic status. For example, a 60-year-old retiree living in San Francisco is more likely to have access to technology such as a smartphone than a 14-year-old girl in a tribal community in the Middle East. Both may prefer a mix of traditional and digital learning, but only one may have access to both options. There are 7.53 billion people on the planet. Less than half are connected to the internet. Yet every year, more individuals have access to technology and digital media. The gap between traditional and digital age learners can be attributed to generational differences. However, with the insinuation of technology in the lives of individuals of all ages, the gap may not be as wide as it was in the past. The biggest gap between traditional learners and digital age learners may not be a generational one, but a socioeconomic one. It's important for educators to understand the mindset of traditional and digital age learners, as it is imperative to understand the mindset, preferences, and barriers of all learners from different generations, ages, cultures, and socioeconomic levels. In order to bridge the gap between the mindsets of all learners, is first to understand the possible limitations of a target audience and then craft learning to meet those learners' needs.